Welcome to the Black Gay History Channel. Please share this video and subscribe to this channel for more captivating content. I finally had the pleasure of seeing the phenomenal romantic drama B-Boy Blues, and I had to give a more thorough review of the movie for the channel. B-Boy Blues is the 2021 modern interpretation of the 1994 book of the same name that popularized stories about inner-city black men and their romantic connections in a way that had never been articulated to a wider audience. Never before had a black, gay, and same-gender loving men had books that celebrated their relationships and their love of hip-hop culture. A b-boy is a slang term for a young man who's engaged in hip-hop culture, and that theme stays consistent in the book and film. Though some fans, who were a fan of the book series that was popularized in the 1990s, were disappointed this film doesn't take place in the 90s, and is set in 2021, there are still core themes of sexuality, acceptance, and blackness that are carried over from the books to the movie. The creative mind and writer behind the book series, James Earl Hardy, is also the writer behind the movie, so making an updated version to me makes sense and is coming directly from the creative source. The books and movie center around the love life of Mitchell, a well-educated New York bachelor who works in media and has a thing for roughnecks, trade, or what some would call b-boys. In the first scene of the movie, there's a comical exchange between Mitchell and his ex, who wants to get back with him, but gets caught looking for a hookup on Grindr in the middle of their phone conversation. Like many black gay men in their 20s and 30s, Mitchell is already fed up with dating, until he runs into Raheem, a sexy young delivery worker who drops off a package at his office. When Mitchell finally gets away from his work, he heads out to connect with his best friend Gene at a gay bar, who is skeptical that anything serious can come from Mitchell's connection with Raheem. I love the way these actors embody the different kinds of black gay men that we meet in the community. Gene is the older gay man I've met many times before who loves cracking jokes with the younger guys. He is overly critical of the younger generation and is skeptical of most relationships in the gay community because everything seems to be about sex. Mitchell is the hopeless romantic who wants to fall in love but gets distracted by sexual and intimacy and tends to miss red flags in his partners. And when Mitchell eventually does spend time together with the incredibly suave and sensual Raheem, Raheem surprises Mitchell with romance, something his previous lovers never did. But like Gene rightfully forewarns Mitchell, Raheem is not yet open to his family about his sexuality, and may break his heart. The chemistry between Mitchell and Raheem on screen is incredibly tantalizing, and the two lovers begin to slide right into the honeymoon phase together, becoming inseparable. But what will their friends think of each other? Unlike Mitchell's other boyfriends, Raheem goes out with Mitchell's friends to a birthday party and gets along great with the skeptical Gene and their other friends. But when Mitchell invites Raheem and his homies over to his apartment for drinks and fun, things don't go as smoothly. Boy, did this part hit home for me. I've been Mitchell in a situation where guys who I barely know feel like they can question my blackness because of how I speak or because I respect trans people's pronouns. Even though Raheem's friends are black and sleep with men, they don't identify with the gay community, like Mitchell does, and they see themselves as different, which causes them to clash on several topics. Either way, Raheem's friend was disrespectful to Mitchell, and this is when we began to see the flaws in Mitchell and Raheem's connection. When we are with our partners in our homes or safety nets, it's easy to focus on the things we have in common, but because Mitchell works a white-collar job, he's judged by Raheem's buddies, and because Raheem is just a 24-year-old delivery man, Mitchell's friends judge him as well. Raheem struggles to articulate his feelings surrounding gay topics, or how the relationship can function when he and Mitchell don't see eye to eye. And here's where the B-Boy Blues part comes in. Even though Mitchell and Raheem are black, same-gender loving men, how they go about living out those romantic roles is very different. So can they truly stick it out and make a loving, long-lasting relationship work? I love that R&B icon Ledisi had a role in this movie, playing Mitchell's loving and supporting mom. After Mitchell's mom and his auntie realizes he's been bit with the love bug, they invite Mitchell and Raheem to the family cookout, and Raheem makes a great impression on Mitchell's family, even though most people are surprised that he's in a relationship with Mitchell and not straight. My heart melted when Raheem surprises Mitchell with a road trip, and in the back seat of the Jeep is a little boy. Raheem didn't know how to tell Mitchell he has a son, and though Mitchell is shocked, the three go out together for a day of fun and exploration, and both Mitchell and Raheem's son fall in love. But of course, there's a lot more drama that happens throughout this heartfelt story, and I wasn't expecting to cry when seeing this film, but I did. Another incredibly realistic moment that I could identify with is when Raheem and Mitchell head out to a gay bar after an argument, and Raheem begins to dance with one of his exes. Mitchell in return starts to dance with another guy, and Raheem gets beside himself, nearly starting a fight with Mitchell's dance partner. By now, most gay men who are just starting a relationship know, if you want to fight with your boyfriend, go to a gay bar. Yikes. I also love that in this scene there was a hilarious cameo from the popular gay comedian Samson McCormick, who plays the club owner that confronts the fighting men with a shotgun and tells them to get out of his bar. Also, shout out to queer R&B icon Duran Bernard for having a big part of the soundtrack. I immediately recognized his voice throughout this film, and his style is perfect for this movie. This film was a 10 out of 10 for me, and I loved that there were so many different representations of black gay men throughout this film. There were loving couples, DL dudes, a random scene on the train where a black gay couple gets engaged, annoying the hell out of Mitchell because he was not speaking with Raheem at the time and was heartbroken. Throughout the film, we also realize that Jean, Mitchell's bestie, is a widow and is scared to get back out into the dating world again. The way this film ends, I think and hope we may get a sequel, and considering the books are a series as well, I'd like to think some sequels only make sense. I laughed, I cried, I gasped, and said "aww" out loud quite a few times watching this movie, and I definitely recommend checking this movie out on streaming. Are you all fans of this book series and movie B-Boy Blues? How did you all feel about Mitchell and Raheem's relationship? Do you have a favorite character? I'd love to hear your thoughts on B-Boy Blues in the comments.